I'm Mickey Kinzenbaugh, Lieutenant with the Des Moines Fire Department. Today we're going to be doing a drill where we practice our basic bread and butter skills by simulating the actions taken by the initial arriving engine company at the scene of a working house fire. During this drill we're going to accomplish a lot of tasks, including catching a hydrant using the hydrant strap, properly placing the rig at the address, advancing a hose line into a structure, charging the hose line, properly donning your PPE, and charging the LDH from the hydrant to the pumper. The following drill will demonstrate this evolution for you. Engine 1's making their way to the scene of the fire here. Now remember, this is for a known working structure fire where you either have dispatch reports of heavy smoke or fire, or PD reports of it, or you can see smoke coming off in the distance. The firefighter is going to get off the back of the rig and he's going to grab the hydrant strap and the LDH and pull it over to the hydrant and hook it around the hydrant. He's going to get back in the rig and the engine's going to proceed towards the scene. Now remember, this is an engine company and not a truck company, so it's important for them to stop just short of or beyond the address to make room for the truck company to own the address. The firefighter's going to get off the rig here and he's going to grab the cross lay. He's going to pull about half of it and he's going to give it a half a turn so the nozzle sets down on his shoulder so it can easily pay out as he walks towards the structure. He's going to clear the hose bed and walk towards the door. Now the engineer is going to start managing the hose from the pump panel all the way up to the doorway, so he's going to make sure there's no kinks in that hose line. The firefighter is going to grab the first cup link back as well as the nozzle, and he's going to walk in a straight line away from the house so he can get himself a straight line going into the door. Now obviously this is in an ideal setting. In the real world we may have a lot of obstacles in the yard, like a handicap entrance or a fence or toys in the yard. You may be parked really close to the address or you may be a long ways away from it, so you may have to innovate with how you stretch that line out, but the point is to give you as straight a shot as possible to advance the hose into the structure easily. Now they've got a line of sight between the firefighter and the engineer, so he's going to call for water. Now obviously if you're on the other side of the pump panel or you don't have a line of sight, you may have to get on the radio to call for that water. He's going to burp the water off here, and the officer and the firefighter are going to go into the structure. Now remember, it's important for the officer to also be involved in helping advance the hose line to make it easier on the guy on the nozzle. In the bottom right-hand part of the screen, you see the medic catching the hydrant. He's already hooked up the LDH to it. The engineer has broken the connection of the LDH and he's hooked it up to his intake. He's given himself a nice straight line for that water to flow into the pump. They also had a line of sight so they could call for water. The medic's going to charge the hydrant for him. Now you see here, the medic on the squad is coming up to the door of the structure. He's going to be an important part of this process. He's going to be helping feed hose into the firefighters to make it easier to advance that nozzle towards the seat of the fire. It's important. This role is really important to take the pressure off the guys on the nozzle and tugging the hose into the structure.